All right, let's see. Whoa.
Sorry, I just want to get these out of my notebook.
Yeah, of course. So 2-5. What was 2-5 all about? Let's see. This is so weird to have an actual hard copy of this thing. Oh yeah. All right. This is the one that where the equations are just loaded with fractions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The way that I showed you is just like one way to do it. So, but it's a really good way because it's going to help us later when we start doing some more complicated ones. And of course, whenever I say that, people get freaked out. Like, this isn't the complicated ones. So, I'm just going to pick one out. Let's see. Let's look at one that's not too evil, and then we'll look at a little more evil. 323 looks interesting. I've already written it down wrong, haven't I? Yeah. So you have the option. Why do you have the option to kill the fractions here? Something very specific. You're not able to just do it whenever you want to. Why do I have the option to kill the fractions? What is it about what this is that allows me to do something that will kill the fractions? And you're like, I don't know, dude, just do it because you're the math guy. You're able to do whatever the hell you want to. No, it's not true.
Are you talking about making the denominators all
Yes.
the same?
So let's do that first, and then I'll ask you why we can do this thing we do after that. So the very first thing I want to do, if you want to do it the way that I've shown you, is to make all the denominators the same. So what denominators need to change?
2 and 4.
Yeah, because they can both become 8. So we leave him alone. Multiply this one by 4. Multiply this one by 2. So if you have trouble with that, you obviously will have trouble with these equations. You need to know how to find LCD. Okay, this one's not too bad. 8, 2, and 4 are beautiful numbers. So then I get 5/8b minus 4/8 equals -6/8. And what am I allowed to do now that I can't do and whenever I want to? What can I do right here to kill those 8s? You can, but I mean, how do I kill them? How do I get rid of the fractions? What do I do to
Times
kill
by
them?
8.
Huh?
Multiply by 8 to
Yes. Why am I allowed to do that? No, not just because it kills everything, because it is an equation, and I have two sides. So I teach this, and then people start doing 3/7 minus 1/7. Well, let me multiply by 7, and now 3/7 minus 1/7 is 2. No. You can't do that unless you have two sides to balance it out. You guys with me? What is 3/7 minus 1/7? What is 3/7 minus 1/7? 2/7. You can't just suddenly multiply by 7 out of nowhere. You made it 7 times bigger than it was. That's not allowed. So why can I do that shit here? Because it's in an equation. It'll balance out. Yes? I don't know if do you guys really understand? So is it true that 2 equals 2?
Yeah.
Ground shaking. I know. Right? Let me adjust this room a little bit. Some assembly required. All right. Now watch. If I multiply both sides by 8, they change, don't they? The sides change. But is the equality still true? Yes. Because it's fundamentally a statement about equality, that's why I'm allowed to multiply both sides, because the equality stays true. Is this a statement about equality? No. I got no way to balance this shit. I can't just multiply by 7. I'm going to pay you $50. No, I'm going to multiply by 7. Give me $3.50. My math teacher said, get out of here. Right? Maybe? No? Not at all? Screw you, Jeff. All right. So if I get all the bottoms the same, which is not something I have to do, but I can then multiply by 8. So all I'm doing is multiplying both sides by 8. It would distribute. Is everybody with me?
Yeah.
And the nice thing with that is I don't have any fractions. Now, did you have to do it this way? No, you could add 1/2, combine those, multiply by 8/5, right? You could totally do it that way. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying here's a way to do it where you don't have to deal with fractions. Maybe. So then I get bam, 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 bam. I get 5b minus 4 equals -6. Now that looks beautiful. Couple steps, you're done, right? So that's always an option in an equation. Right? Add 4, divide by 5, whatever the hell. You guys, is that all right?
Yeah.
So the only way to make that worse is a couple things. Make the bottoms worse numbers. And I've given you some ways to find the LCD even when the numbers get big or whatever. Or they could do something like this. Let me pull one out. So this was I don't even know if this is part of the homework, but this is number 323. It probably wasn't, so don't get too excited. Is everybody cool? I didn't finish this, but I mean, right? Add 4, 5b equals -2, divide by 5, so b is -2/5.
Yes.
All right, just to make it done. Get out of there. Shoot. -2/5. Bam. All right. Let me look at where's some freakiness happening. Now there's one, maybe. Sure. They don't have too ugly of numbers in here, which is nice. Yeah, so the only other freaky thing they do is this. Let's do this one. Well, that was not too bad. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Maybe Y is not the best choice of letter, but oh well. So if you wanted to get rid of the fractions first, how many fractions are up there you have to consider? The correct answer is 4. See, this is the only other place, besides the numbers on the bottom getting bigger, the other place you can make a mistake is to forget that that is a fraction. It really is, because it's 2 over. Yeah, so it needs to have the same bottom also. You can't just decide to stay out of the process. Every piece of an equation will be affected when I do something to both sides. So obviously, or not, maybe obviously, but what will the LCD be? LCD be 20. I love it, right? You see that? Even if you thought it was 40 or something, it will still eventually work. Just all your numbers are going to be bigger than they had to be. So this guy needs a 2. Or is everybody with me?
Yeah.
Do you see the motivation here? And again, do you have to do this problem by eliminating the fractions first? No. But most humans don't like working with fractions if there's an option. I'm sorry, I've heard about humans. Times, every time I say that, it's like, where are you from, Jeff? And this guy needs a whole 20. Yeah, poor little dude. All right. So we get 2y over 20 plus 4 over 20. 5y over 20 minus 40 over 20. And what really freaks me out is some people start to reduce right now. It's like, wait, you just went this way and then you went that way. You like rolled the barrel over here and now you're going to roll the barrel back. What the hell are you doing? So we built everything up so that I can do what now? Multiply by 20, which makes sense because 20 is being divided into everything. Let me kill it by multiplying, the opposite operation. Okay. So if I multiply by 20, you see how it distributes to here and here. So I just write it next to everybody. It dies. The other mistake people make is they put 100 here, but no, it's dead, right? It dies, it's dead. So then I get 2y plus 4 equals 5y minus 40. And then it's a couple steps you're done, right? Now you have to know how to deal with fractions. But we also, at the same time, have to start getting clever enough to go, I don't have to deal with fractions here if I don't want to because I understand the math. Let me kill the fractions, right? And then, so subtract 2y, add 40, divide by 3. All right, I think all you guys could probably finish that out. Is that all right? All right, subtract 2y, 3y, add 40, 44, divide by 3.
Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to look at. So you don't have, if you're cool with fractions, you do not have to kill them. You can just start moving your y's, putting your y's together, moving your numbers, right? That's a complete option. Is that all right? I mean, I understand that's going to trip people up. The minute you see fractions, you sometimes go, but here is a place where fractions show up. And what's one of the first things you do and you're able to do is kill them. Why would you skip that problem, right? I could kill them. Something you've always wanted to do ever since somebody showed you. Here's a fraction. Kill it. All right? Now, I want you to understand, fractions are beautiful things. They deserve their own place in the world. But I also understand that most students hate them. I understand that. So here's a beautiful piece of math. If you understand it, it gives you an option to not deal with fractions. Yes?
Okay, so when you switched 40 to positive 4, 40 became positive? Is that why it's positive 44?
What's happening? Where are we at?
Down.
Here?
Negative 40, next down.
Still negative.
Yeah?
And then what did
When you switched it to the other side?
No. I didn't switch it. How do I kill the negative 40 here? I add 40. So I better do the same thing to both sides. And that's how I got 44.
Oh, got it.
It's not on the same side. It has to get to the other side. So really, you're not really moving something. You're canceling it on one side,
Yeah.
but it'll show up on the other because you have to do the same thing to both sides.
Got it.
So you got to look at it like that. It's canceling what's there. That's why it became plus on that side. I have too many people that just, you would put 3y, I can't even think the wrong way. 7y here. But how the hell did that 2y just sort of migrate over? No, can't do that. It's got to cancel on this side so it shows up on that side. I like it. You would, Jeff. All right. Anything else from the practice test, homework? Yes.
Oh, the practice test part.
Wait. We got one right here and then I'll come over here.
On exercise 2.2, on problem 116, I'm confused by in general. What's the
116?
Yep. On 2.2.
I got you.
You got me?
Yes. So this is one where, all right, so we got what they want here?
Hold on a sec, please.
Let me see, where can I move it a little bit?
All right, thank you.
No worries. Do you see how this one, oh God, Jeff, I didn't mean to make it that horrible. This 1 over q, we're not ready for that. 1/2 q, there it is. Do you see how this one, you don't have to kill the fractions, it'll make the numbers bigger. You really don't, because once you get an LCD, you might as well just combine them. Do you see that? So the point with this section was, before we learn we can do this, how do we handle fractions? Well, we just put them together, like we always do. So what would the LCD be here? 12. So what's he need?
6.
So then you get 5 12ths q plus 6 12ths q equals 25 minus 3 is 22. Now here I always get somebody ask, why did you not change the other side? I didn't change anything. I have changed nothing. 1/2 is the same as 6 12ths. Right? It's like saying $1.2 instead of 1.20, right? Same numbers, who cares? So I didn't change anything. What can I do with these now?
Combine them.
Yep, so I get,
11.
and then how do I do the
The next?
I did the next and last together, so it became nast. How do I do the nast step?
Multiply by the reciprocal.
Multiply by
12.
12 over 11. Multiply by the reciprocal. See how that takes care of both of those things. So you can put 22 over 1 if you want to, right? And then that reduces beautifully. Don't do 22 times 12. There's no 22 there. What is it there? What's there?
2 left.
2. So Q equals, yeah. So you don't always have to kill the fractions. I mean, if there's very little bit you have to do with the fractions that are in it, don't kill them. Especially because you got a pretty big ass number there already. I don't know if I want to multiply kill fractions and make my numbers that big, right? So I like that that section is there. And then we learned this other way to do things when there's too many fractions running around or whatever, you have this option. But this one's like one step and then reciprocal and you're done. You don't always have to kill the fractions. Poor little fractions. Is that me? I love it when I get a text that I'm recording. It's like there was an earthquake or something. All right. Why are these poor dudes on? Okay. Anything else? Yes?
There is one.
Oh, wait. I'm over here. I had a question, then I'll come back to you. Sorry. Yes?
All the time on the distance. I got A, but I'm not sure it's right.
5. Oh, okay.
On the practice test.
Okay. So this is the stuff that people, it goes word problems, graphing, and then I think equations with no numbers in them is the order of hated stuff. It might be different for different people, but it's roughly that for most people. So when I see a problem like this, and I want to solve for, what was it, E? If there's no, so the first thing you look for is there fractions. You might as well kill them first. No fractions, right? Where is my E? That's what I'm trying to solve for. What term is my E in? Where's the E? Is it right there? Where is it? Say QE. Right? It's in the QE term, right? It's right there in the QE term. Yes? That's the term where there's an E. Why is that term not by itself? What's with QE? Why is QE not by itself?
B.
Stupid B. Get rid of it, right? So watch this. If I said solve this for E, what would you do first? Subtract 15. All right? We're going to subtract whatever the shit that is. I really want you, if you can solve equations. I know, but I'm trying to make sure everybody's with me. If you can solve equations, you have to be able to solve these because you do all the same steps. You just don't actually have to do it. Because what do I get when I subtract B? F minus B. I don't know what the hell that is. And what's the last step going to be? So you get E by itself.
Divide the Q.
Divide by Q. Chip. Now, when I get people that get this problem and they just start sort of moving stuff around, they just step over and they just, you got to still subtract. You have to divide, undo what's being done. That's the only way to get things to move to the other side. You can't just sort of have them wander over. Let's go see what's over here. No, I can't do that. All right, what's the weirder one? Part B?
Yeah.
B's got 2 ways to do it. What's somebody's first instinct as to, I'm trying to solve for M? Yeah. What's your first kind of instinct to do here? What about them? Huh?
M and negative 2 is.
Careful, these are not like terms.
Oh.
M minus 2M would be negative 1M,
Right.
but M minus 2M, no idea. These are not like terms, right? This is 1M and this is 2 1s. Can't put those together.
Distribute?
Yeah. I wouldn't do that, but we're used to doing that, so why not? And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm gonna. I got both ways on the key. So if you distribute this, what do you get?
Negative 6y.
Negative 6y. I like it. And now you do the exact same thing we did up here. Where is my m? Get rid of the other shit, right? Which term has my m in it? This one. What's the other shit? This stuff. Get rid of this stuff. How do I get rid of this stuff? Add 6y. And then how do I get rid of the stuff that's with m now? And do you see, that's why you find out where the letter is you want to solve for. You get rid of the other stuff because the last thing you almost always want to do is divide. You don't want to make fractions too early. So we get m equals that. There's another way to do this. Kind of the suckiest part of this is there's a stupid thing in front of this. If that wasn't there, this would be much better, wouldn't it? If I just gave you that, is that better? Oh, shit, yeah. So what can you do? I can kill this. How do I kill 3y? No, come on. What's 3y doing?
Multiply.
So how do I kill it? Divide. See, that's the internal conversation you have to have with yourself. What's happening currently? What's the opposite? That's how I'm going to kill it. So you could totally do this. This is beautiful. Not a damn thing wrong with this. Here's another thing you could do is more directly kill the thing you don't like in the first place. So what I get, a over 3y equals m minus 2. There's just one step left. Add 2. So you get a over 3y plus 2 equals m. These are the same thing. I don't know if you guys see that. This has to be the same as that. And thankfully it is. What's a divided by 3y? A divided by 3y. What's 6y divided by 3y? Frickin' 2. See? They are the same. So I would take either answer, depending on which way you chose to solve it.
Wouldn't the y stay up there though?
Where? Sorry.
3y goes into 6y twice, but wouldn't it be 2y?
No, careful. 3 goes into 6 twice. The y's would cancel. Right? So if I wrote this, a divided by 3y plus 6y divided by 3y, what do the y's do? Die. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. That's how those become the same. Anything that's the same on the top and bottom cancels. Numbers, letters, it doesn't discriminate. It kills them all. Right? It's like Clorox, I don't know. Kills them all. All right. And is that all right? Yes. Oh, wait. Did I skip somebody? You had a question? Yes.
On the quiz, number D. You can just fill it out.
Number 2?
No, number D, or number 1. Number D.
Oh, okay. So there are several different versions of the quiz. Everybody had a problem like this. Let me see. Let me get it to be about the same. Okay. Yeah, all right. Oh, there's some other letters in there. Oh, yeah, okay. Let me put another letter in there. What are you going to put, Jeff? Just put an X. Sure. Okay. Right? You guys all had a problem that sort of looked like that. 1D. What's up? Right? So everybody had this, but nobody had this. The more you understand what I just said, the more you understand algebra. This is the same problem as everybody had. Just has some different letters and numbers in it. Right? But it's the same idea. What's the very first thing you do here?
Parentheses.
Parentheses. Is this an equation?
No.
So I'm not going to be able to get an answer. What's up?
Ours, and I can't read it.
You can always get closer.
I know.
Okay. Let me rewrite it. Has everybody got this here?
Here.
So let's see. 8w minus 2 times 5x minus 3w plus 4w minus 11x. So first distribute. What do I get?
10. -10.
Positive 6.
Good. Positive. That's where some people made a mistake right there.
+6W.
Some of us thought this was like terms, right? They're definitely not like terms. And now I just find, this is what I do for myself. I find all my W's, and I find all my X's, and I underline them with different shapes. And then I just put them together. 8 and 6 and 4. 18. -10 minus 11. -21. Is that all right? So once you distribute, things are free to move. So then they can combine all your like terms. That's why you almost always distribute first.
I don't even like that. And I have-
Yeah, there's nothing more you could do. There's no equation.
No,
These aren't like terms.
you don't have
You're
equal.
done. I think part of you feels like, I'm not done yet. I have to figure out the answer. There is no answer to something that's not an equation.
Yes.
I can't say solve this. I can only say simplify this.
That we don't have equal.
Exactly. Yeah. So some of us try to force this to equal something, and it doesn't. Yeah.
Can you do the word problems on the take-home quiz? So number 4.
On the practice test?
Yes.
Oh. As I dribble all over myself. It's rain. For example, the first one, 5 less than 3 times a number. Right? 5 less than. Okay, so right there. Somebody got this here?
Yeah.
Sure. 5 less than. So I'm going to write -5. 5 less than what? 3 times a number. How do you write 3 times a number? 3x. You could also write 3n, 3w, 3 pi, 3, whatever your favorite letter, your alphabet is, right? But, 3x is a good choice. That is 5 less than 3 times some number. And then it says you take that thing and you add it to 8.
What does it mean? 3 times a number.
That's what it means.
3x.
Yes. What does 3x mean?
3 numbers.
What operation is in there? Times, multiplication,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And what's being multiplied? 3 and some number. I don't know what the number is, so that's why we call it x. I like it. And then if you simplify this, you don't need the parentheses, but you see why I did? Because I take this, add it to 8. Right? So then you can put your like terms together now. So it's 3x plus 3, right? -5 plus 8 is +3. What's happening? -5
Okay.
plus 8 is also 8 minus 5.
Yes.
You can always turn that bad boy around.
Can you do one of the problems on 2.7?
Oh, wait a minute. I think, let's see. Part B?
No, I'm talking about the home.
Well, I mean, I'm still on number 4. Right? Somebody asked me about all in number 4. 4B is weird. I will freely admit that. What am I doubling? Twice what? And 4B, what's it say? Twice what? Careful, I heard a number. No, it says twice what? Twice the difference. So what do I better write down first before I can double it? The difference.
Minus.
Twice the difference. So what's the difference of? Between 7 and 4 times a number. Right? All right. I almost have to write this down. I don't want to. What's the difference between 7 and 4 times a number? Well, how do you write 4 times a number? 4x. So the difference between 7 and 4x, how would you write that? What's difference mean?
Minus.
Yes, 7 minus 4x. There's the difference between 7 and 4 times a number. Bam. And then what do I want to do to that whole thing? I want to multiply it by 2. So that is twice the difference. Now notice, it didn't say anywhere twice 7. Twice the difference. So whatever the difference is, the last thing I do is I double it. Yes. Oh, you're good. You're stretching. And then simplify that, right? Just distribute.
What about the C one?
Yeah.
Number.
The C one is neat. Half a number. Half a number.
Like x over 2.
Sure. So I can do x over 2 or 1/2 x, half a number, added to the product of that number and 3. So added to the product of that number and 3. 3x, right? So what do we call the number already? X. So what's the product of that and 3? 3x. Half a number added to the product of 3 in that number. What's the very next word? Is equals 10 more than that number. Careful, that's 10 times that number. 10 more than that number implies addition, x plus 10. Half a number added to the product of 3 in that number is 10 more than that number. And algebra allows us to figure out what the hell that number is.
Oh my god.
Don't freak out. I mean, look at it. Now getting there was freaky. Look at the equation. The worst part of it is this one stupid little fraction, which you can immediately kill if you want to. It's kind of nice when there's only one fraction. What do I multiply by?
2.
Why is there a fraction? Because the stupid 2. So let me multiply by 2. If you want to. You don't have to, but let's do it.
To kill it?
Yes, to kill it. 2, 2, 2, 2. What happens here?
Die.
Dice. So I get x plus
6x.
6x equals
2x.
2x plus
20.
20. And that's easy shit, right? Easy peasy,
X equals.
lemon squeezy. So when there's one fraction in an equation, that's almost too nice to believe. You know what the LCD is. It's easy. What's the lowest? There's 1. It's that, right? So I multiply by that. But you have to multiply everything by it. Nothing can escape. So you get 7x, subtract 2x, right? You get 5x equals 20. So you get x is 4. Bam. Let me give you the answer key since we're running low on time. And who did I skip over? You had a question?
Maybe this will answer.
Sure. Oh, but one more. Yes, I do. Give one to her from this way.
I know. I'm looking at that.
Oh. What's up? What did I say about calculator tomorrow? Did anyone listen to me? What do I say about calculator tomorrow?
Part of the test.
There we go. Part of it,
Yeah.
you can't use a calculator, and the rest of it you can. Right? So you would do a part 1. When you're done with that, you turn it in and you get to part 2. And then you can use the calculator. Yeah.
Can you explain number 6, please?
Oh. Okay.
To understand, because I don't want to take that as a just.
So we have to know how to change decimals to fractions and vice versa. What place is that 2 in? What place is this? 1. Divide by 10. This is the tenths. So this is tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So how do I write this as a fraction? 2 over 1,000, 2,000ths.
Okay.
Remember that?
Yes.
Remember that? Our number system is based on 10 for some crazy reason. I can't imagine why. So every time I take a step, it changes by a factor of 10. That's 100 divided by 10. That's tens divided by 10. That's ones divided by 10. That's tenths. Very single-minded. So fractions, decimals are just special fractions where the bottom is some power of 10. So they fit into our number system. 2/3 don't fit into a base 10 number system. That's why it looks gross when I change it into a decimal. How are we doing there? Yes?
On G of your,
Oh, wait. Was there more about 6?
yeah,
So what about 847 over 10,000? So I need, this is what I normally do, watch. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. Sound like an evil person with a lisp. So the last digit better end up in that last spot. So there. That's 847 10,000ths. How many spots do I'm going to have? 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. So many connections there. There has to be. Because that goes right into our number system. That's why it actually is easy. You just got to remember how it works. Now, like something like this, how do you change that into a fraction? I mean, a decimal.
Divide.
You got to divide, yeah. You want to see something nifty? 3/9 is 1/3, right? Is that cool? And what is 1/3? You guys should know what 1/3 is a decimal. Point. Do you guys know? Please tell me you know. Point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's 1/4. Do you guys know what 1/3 is a decimal? 0.3333333 forever, right? Does that sound familiar? So what do you think 2/9 is? If 3/9 is 0.333 forever, 2/9 is 0.2222 forever. Isn't that crazy? Now how do you show that? You do 9 into 2. 9 goes into 20 twice. 2 times 9 is 18. Subtract. Oh, there's 20 again. 2, 18. Oh, there's 20 again. Okay, shit. That's a beautiful connection between those things. Because most people know 1/3 is 0.333. 1/3 is 3/9. So therefore 2/9 is 0.3222. 1/9 is 0.111. 8/9 is 0.8888. All right, so. I'm sorry, who did I skip over? G? Somebody? What was it?
G on the practice test for 2, 2, G.
2G. Oh, this is one of our inequalities. I like it.
So isn't that not supposed to be 4x? So your second line down that you did. So 3x plus x should be 4x, and you put 2x. Is that?
Yeah, why did I do that? I don't know. I just wanted to, I guess. So let's do that one the right way. I'm averaging about a 97 on my practice test. Let me see. So up to this point, I did pretty good. Right? And then I just decided to not do the right thing. So what's 3x and x? So you guys know this is 2G?
You need parentheses around 4 minus x.
Yes. And then you distribute, so you get 3x minus 4 plus x, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, 3x plus x is 4x. And right here, I have a 2 for some reason. I just felt like I didn't use enough 2's. So I just wanted to put a 2 there. And now you just keep going.
Minus 4.
Sure. Well, a better thing you can do. Minus x.
Oh.
Add 4.
Minus x, sorry.
Divide by 3. Do I need to flip the sign? No, because they're divided by a positive number, right? So it should be x less than equal to 3, not x less than equal to 9. I like it. So I'm not saying I'm the LeBron James of math, but even LeBron James misses a shot or two, right? All right.
So you only flip the sign and it's being divided by negative?
If you're dividing or multiplying by a negative, that's the only time the sign will flip. I like it. So this should be like this. Everything else is right except it should say 3 instead of 9.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Let's see. Number
exactly.
5.
So just to remind you guys, I am human. Right? And like I said, I'm averaging about a 97 on my cancer key, so I'm doing pretty good. Which one?
Number 5, letter C.
Oh, yeah. What about it?
W.
No. I know what it is, but what about it?
I don't know how I.
So like I said, the very first thing you do when you have this kind of problem is you say, is there a fraction in the problem? Yes. So how do I kill it? How do I kill that fraction? What do I do to both sides to make that fraction go away? Yeah, why is there a fraction? Because I have stuff divided by c. If only that c wasn't there, right? So how do I kill the c? I multiply both sides by c. Do you see that? Some of you, and the rest of you guys, I love you guys.
You said,
What's happening?
wait, I'm still stuck on the G.
Yes.
Did you write it down wrong?
No, I just put a 2 there.
No, I'm talking about on the paper.
That's what I mean. I put a 2 on the paper instead of a 4. Yeah.
Okay,
So the answer, instead of 9, it should be 3. Yeah.
Got it.
Is everybody cool with this, though? I mean,
I'm very good.
why about which piece?
About the one we're doing right now.
Which this one?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, guys, watch. If I'm trying to solve for x, what would I do? Subtract 5, correct? If I want to get x by itself,
-5.
I would subtract 5. Why would I subtract 5? Because that's the opposite operation of what this is. And it gets me closer to this. In fact, in this case, I would be done. So, where's my n? It's right there.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing happening to that n? Division by c. How do I cancel division? Multiplication. So if I multiply by c, what do the c's do? Cancel. That's it. So especially when you have nothing but letters. If I see a fraction in a problem where there's nothing but letters, hell yeah, I'm going to just kill it. I'm not going to take any options. I'm going to kill the hell out of that thing. Right? It's hard enough when there's numbers in there, but can you imagine trying to find the LCD of 1 over y plus 2 over x minus 7? We will later. Not yet. And then, so what do you got left? CW. Bad shows. What's left over there? Anybody wondering why I didn't multiply by c? Yeah, it died. Yeah, please don't bring the c through. It's dead.
Die.
Right? Don't bring them around town. Say no weekend of Bernie's. Somebody get that reference? All right. And now I just got 2 things to do, and I got n by itself, right? Both of the things that are with n are doing what to it? Adding. So to kill them, I just subtract them. Yeah. So they could follow along on the key. Is that all right? So especially when I have an equation with only letters in it, I'm not even going to think twice. I'm going to kill any fractions immediately. That's my suggestion anyway. Do you have to? Well, no, but my God, why wouldn't you? Yes?
So for tomorrow's exam, anything above 80, you have a chance of getting 5 points back?
Yes, so if you get an 80 or above and you do the corrections, you could get up to 5 points back, up to 100, right? If you get below an 80, you can get a point for every 4 you miss. So if you get like a 76, you missed 24 points, divided by 4 is 6, you could get 6 points back. My whole idea there is if you get below an 80, you got more and more work to do, so I'm going to give you more and more points back for doing more and more work. So you're not going to get all your points back, don't get too excited. But shit, you're going to get some points back, so, right?
Better than nothing.
Hell yeah, it's way better than nothing. I wish my teacher's done that for me.
Can you do, one of the problems on the homework?
Yes.
0.7.
Number which one? I missed that whole last problem I did.
Homework 2.7 is, number 480.
Man, they got nothing but hotter in here, huh? All right. 480. Oh, yeah. Sorry. That was really cool. This one's awesome. Is this the one you're looking at, 4/5 H?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that 3 2/3? All right. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. What is the LCD? LCD is easy. 15. So I've got 1, 2, 3 pieces with bottoms. Do you see that? In fact, if I write it like this, let me write it one different way. 4h over 5 minus 2h minus 9 over 3 greater than or equal to 2h plus 90. This is much easier if you see it like this. Do you see there's my 3 fractions, right? So he's already got a 15, so he needs a 5 and he needs a 3. So now I got 12h over 15 minus 10 times this business over 15. It's greater than or equal to 2h plus 90 over 15. And then I can do what? Why do we do all that? Because then I can do what to both sides? By doing what? Multiplying. By what? Yes, okay, there we go. Multiply both sides by 15, it'll distribute. Die, die, die. Maybe I'll stop here because now, does that look better? Distribute, like terms, move your H's, move your numbers, right? The rest of this is not too bad. It started off looking really disgusting. What's up? You guys all right? What's up?
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, it's okay. You see it?
I know, I see he times 5. Never mind, I got it.
5 times 2, that's 10. Right?
Yeah, okay, never mind. I got it.
3 times 4 is 12. Kill the 15ths. And now it's relatively easy. Well, easier. Is that all right if I say that? This is a little bit freaky, though, at the end. Look what you get. 2h